So this is a pretty interesting song in that it's very minimalistic, except for the vocals. And there's a lot of vocals going on, not exactly a lot of vocal parts, but there's a lot of vocal tracks, as you'll see. So let's just take this section by section. We'll listen to the intro and to the first verse.
It might seem crazy what I'm about to say. Sunshine, she's here, you can take a break. I'm a hot air balloon that could go to space. With the air, like I don't care, baby, by the way.
So what you heard there was a couple of things. First of all, very interesting intro where it's just one chord over and over, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we go into it. So it's kind of interesting. The other thing is that the reverb is pretty nice and long. You're going to hear this later. It's an altiverb reverb, convolutional reverb, but it sounds pretty good. And the other thing is the double at the end, the very last line of the verse. And let me just play that for you.
With the air, like I don't care, baby, by the way. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do.
Now, of course, what happened there is we had background vocals that were introduced, and they were panned out left and right. And, of course, we have 3-part harmony that goes into 2-part harmony and repeats over and over. The low end, the kick drum and the bass is not very distinct, and you can't really hear what's going on. You can feel it, but you can't really hear it. But I'll play that for you a little bit later on, and you'll be able to hear it a little bit more distinctly. But for now, just listen to how muddy everything is except for the vocals. Now let's go to the second verse.
Here come bad news, talking this and that. Well, give me all you got and don't hold it back. Well, I should probably warn you, I'll be just fine. No offense to you, don't waste your time. Here's why.
Again, a couple interesting things happen here. We have the introduction of the background vocals that came in singing "Yeah" in the holes. And also, again, we're hearing that very nice altiverb reverb on the lead vocal. But other than that, there's not a whole lot that's going on that is different from the very first verse. Of course, what you should listen to here is the hi-hat. The hi-hat is on 3 rather than on 2 and 4, which you usually hear. So that is an interesting feel that's a little bit different. And of course, the bass is changing on every phrase, but it's identical to the very first verse on how it all enters. Now let's go to the next chorus.
Don't waste your time. Here's why. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do.
Now, of course, what's different here is some of the ad-libs, which makes the second chorus slightly different from the first, although it's pretty much the same. Now we get to the bridge, and the bridge is 16 bars. This is bridge number 1. There's actually 2 bridges, and have a listen to what happens and how it develops.
You want to do, hey, go, bring me down, can't none, bring me down, your love is too high, bring me down, can't none, bring me down, I said, bring me down, can't none, bring me down, your love is too high, bring me down, can't none, bring me down, I said, because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof.
Now, a couple things happened there. The first 8 bars of the bridge were lots of ad-libs, and then we went to a build on the background vocals. And there's a lot of background vocalists. There's 6 background vocalists here, And then we hear them all towards the end. And then in the next chorus, they begin to sing the next chorus along with Pharrell. So now our chorus is a lot bigger. So again, listen to what happens here. We'll take just a little of the end of the bridge into the chorus.
Can't none bring me down. I said, clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do.
Now, of course, what we have here is a double chorus. And in the second chorus, the lead vocal is just a little different. It varies a little bit from the previous one. But other than that, it's the same, except, again, bigger background vocals. So now we have Pharrell's 6 background vocal tracks, plus we have another 18 tracks of 6 vocalists, and actually it's just all 6 vocalists that are tripled that we're hearing. Then we come to bridge number 2. Bridge number 2 is half of the length of bridge number 1, and this is just the builds. Listen to what happens.
That's what you want to do. Hey, go. Bring me down. Can't none bring me down. The love is too high. They bring me down. Can't none bring me down. I said, clap along if you feel like a room without a roof.
And we're back to the chorus, and now we have a double chorus till the end. And listen to what happens. This is pretty much like the previous double chorus.
Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Hey, clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do. Come on.
So there at the end, it just ended with some echoes, and you hear there's 2 different echoes going on at different times, and you can hear the fade out. Let's go one more time right at the end. It sounds like there's about a half note and a quarter note, or a quarter note triplet, something like that, that's going on. I know there's 2 of them there. Now, I happen to have the instrumental to this, so let's listen to what it sounds like without the vocal. The mix is slightly different, but that's okay because you'll hear everything just a little bit better than you did before. Now, what's especially interesting here is the hand claps that come in on the chorus, but also you hear the percussion a whole lot better than you did before. I'm going to play that a little bit more later, and you'll hear how that develops especially. What I want to do is go up to the bridge and listen to what happens at the bridge as we break everything down.
Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Clap along if you feel like happiness is to you. Clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Hey, go.
Yeah, now you can really hear the percussion there, and you can hear the double time on the claps, which is different, and you can hear another sample in there. It sounds like a sax. It's in there a couple of times. So that's really apparent, and it wasn't before when you have all those vocals all over the place. Now I happen to have all of the individual tracks that we can listen to. So let's go up to the drums and listen to the drums by themselves. You'll also hear the percussion as well. Now you can hear that the drums are only a 2-bar phrase, and in fact you're hearing that hi-hat open up on beat number 3, which is unusual. You're also hearing the kick drum that's doubled with an 808. It's very interesting sound. You're going to hear it a little bit more in a second, and also there's percussion. So now you just heard the verse and the chorus. What I want to do is go up to the bridge and listen to what it sounds like. Pretty interesting. You can really hear what happens with the percussion and how the percussion is actually there all the time, but you don't really hear it. As with just about everything in the mix, it's kind of buried, kind of put together where it's muddy, but I think it's intentional, and you're going to hear why in a second. Let's go to the bass and listen to what happens with the bass, and this is going to show you why I think the mix is on the muddy side. And as you can hear, the bass is not played with a lot of precision. And as a result, so it doesn't stand out, everything is kind of muddy. Now, as we go to the keys, you'll hear much the same thing where there's not a lot of precision. And as a result, when everything is kind of melded in where you can't really distinctly hear each particular element, then it doesn't matter so much. So here we go, just on the keys. So as you heard, everything is just a little wobbly. So as a result, if you don't really hear them distinctly, and I'm talking mostly the bass and the keys, if you don't hear them distinctly, it doesn't matter. And they all seem to work pretty well together when, in fact, we don't hear them distinctly. So that's kind of nice. That's why that's like that, I believe, anyway. Now let's go up to the vocal and listen to what that sounds like. Listen especially to the effects.
It might seem crazy what I'm about to say. Sunshine, she's here, you can take a break. I'm a hot air balloon that could go to space. With the air, like I don't care, baby, by the way.
Now that's a really nice reverb on there. It's an altiverb. Plus, there's some very subtle delays on there, some longer delays. So the combination is really nice. It's not something that sticks out of the track, but it's something that pulls it all together and really makes it sound pretty good. Let's listen to the chorus now.
Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do.
And what's happening there is we're not hearing the reverb anymore. The reverb is coming down in level, as are the delays, so it's pretty dry, this chorus. But the fact is, now it's nice and wide because we have the stereo spread of the background vocals with the lead vocal in the middle. And let's go to the next verse.
Here come bad news, talking this and that. Yeah. Well, give me all you got and don't hold it back. Yeah. Well, I should probably warn you, I'll be just fine. Yeah. No offense to you, don't waste your time. Here's why. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do.
Now, a couple of things to remember here is the background vocals in the verse, the yeahs that are coming in with the, not Pharrell vocals, but the background singers. Those are spread, but not very much. They're spread left and right, but just barely. The background vocals, Pharrell's background vocals during the chorus, are spread more, but the fact of the matter is they're not spread all that much, so it's not hard left and hard right. And that's something to keep in mind. It's just enough that we can have a center for the lead vocal by itself. Okay, let's go up to the bridge now.
Bring me down, can't none bring me down. The love is too high to bring me down. Can't none bring me down. I said, bring me down, can't none bring me down. The love is too high to bring me down. Can't none bring me down. I said, because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth.
Now you can hear how those background vocals developed. They developed well in the second half of the bridge, where all of a sudden they started to build up until we heard them all. And then they joined in with Pharrell's background vocals in the chorus, so it's even bigger than it was before. So let's take it where we left off.
Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do. Say, bring me down, can't none bring me down. The love is too high to bring me down. Can't none bring me down. I said, because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof.
So again, what we did is we had the bridge, only it's half as long as the first one where the background vocals develop, although I take notice that the background vocals are a little different in this bridge than they were in the first one. There's fewer vocals. But then we come back to the chorus where we have both Pharrell in the background as well as the 6 background singers. Now I want to go right to the end and just have a listen to what happens there.
Wanna do? Come on.
And we can hear our delays and what happens there and how we're going. So I'm going to give you a little bit more lead in on this and have a listen.
Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do. Come on.
So what this is showing us is that the intro and the outro aren't important anymore like they were once upon a time. We used to take a lot more effort and a lot more thought into making the intro and outro, even if it was a fade, which you don't hear too much anymore. Now we'll hear just a hard ending like this with delays or something like that. Nobody much cares. It's very acceptable where it never used to be. Anyway, that's happy. There's a lot more going on than you might think, but that's kind of the norm for most hit songs.